Welcome to all of my students in today's mentoring session. It's 1st of April, 9:31 p.m. and we are looking at the Nifty Futures daily chart. And what an exciting day we had today. And by the way, I think today market did an April Fool to all the bears. I actually shared a tweet also regarding the same on my Twitter handle. I think when I got up early morning today, what happened was I think Nifty futures, SGX Nifty was showing almost 100 points down. So I thought probably we would have a gap down today. And later on it showed minus 70. But I think when market opened, it was flattish and then entire day it kept railing. And you can see we have 248 points close in the green. Anyways, and if all of you have seen my Nifty short-term view, just my previous video which I shared couple of days back, उसमें मैंने clearly mention किया था that market overall view is bullish. The overall view of the market is currently bullish, but we need to close above this level of 17,550 and 17,600. अगर इसके ऊपर बंद आता है तो मैंने clearly बोला था, 3 लेवल मैंने दिए थे. The first level was 17,800, second was 18,000, and third was 18,100 or somewhere around that. So if you are already subscribed to my channel, then you can go and watch that particular video on my YouTube channel. इसका जो previous video होगा आपको वहीं मिलेगा. And overall you can see this is a pretty big green candle. Prices are above the moving averages and overall it's looking bullish. One thing which I don't like over here is volumes which are still falling, but maybe at a later stages, we'll see that does the volume pick up or not. But as I have told all of you, even in my previous video, that in terms of importance, price is always more important than volume. तो ये हम बाद में देखेंगे कुछ दिन के बाद कि volume pickup होता है कि नहीं होता. And overall, even in the weekly chart, I think it seems fine. Yes, this is one candle 17,800. I think इसको अगर सरपास कर सकते हैं next week में तो market थोड़ा सा और ऊपर जाएगा and it could test all of the levels which I have shared with you. And if we have a small gap up also, I think so close to 80 points, 90 points or maybe even 100 points. तो जो first हमारा target है वो आ जाएगा 17,800 के करीब. Bank Nifty, I had told that it needs little bit more consolidation and structurally, obviously Nifty is more stronger than Bank Nifty. We cannot deny that. But even Bank Nifty did show us a impressive up move today, and special thanks to the PSU banks. And we can see that clearly 36,400, 37,000 के ऊपर बंद देना था. I think this horizontal, I think this has moved somehow. 37,000 के ऊपर इसको बंद देना था. I think which has happened pretty efficiently. And I think the first level which could be tested on the upside, it would be 37,400. I've kept an alert over here, you can see. Second could be 37,800 and third could be 38,320. These are the levels which could be achieved if the up move continues on the upside. Yes, we have certainly crossed the importance resistance level. Monthly time frame में I should say Bank Nifty is looking pretty impressive considering the fact that ये जो hammer है, this hammer candle, this has found support at the previous high over here and it has bounced nicely. अगर मैं weekly chart check करता हूँ, if I look at the weekly chart also, now things are looking pretty decent. This candlestick is also looking nice. Yes, it has started coming back into an uptrend. I think by next week, if this up move continues, we'll have a pretty decent looking, pretty good looking chart. But again, if you want a very big up move, even bigger than this one, like I'm talking about not just till 38,350 or 38,400, more than that, then certainly in Nifty and in Bank Nifty, both we will need to close above this trend line. If we cannot do that, then the up move will be restricted over here. We need to understand that. Private banks. In private banks, if you look in the monthly time frame chart, again, things are looking pretty okay. We have bounced from a decent support. If I post a if I plot a Fibonacci retracement, you can see very clearly, I'll just remove this one. We can see we have bounced from a 38.20% Fibonacci retracement, and this is the previous candlestick cluster. So overall things are looking nice. And in terms of weekly chart, yes, this candle is good, but little bit hesitancy is there, I think, in the price. The reason is price is actually close to the trend line resistance, and same thing is evident in the daily chart. So I think once we close above this particular resistance of this trend line, I think then the up move shall continue. Two stocks from my side which I like impressive, which are impressive currently. One is Hdfc Bank. Only thing is that we have some sort of hurdle over here. You need to keep that in your mind. We have this hurdle. We can see this candlestick cluster. Okay. Even this high over here. So yes, this up move has happened, but this up move has again found a resistance. If we can surpass this and continue trading higher, then I think overall structure of the trend, overall state of the trend of Hdfc Bank is amazing. Even the weekly chart is looking simply awesome. I can say that. The monthly chart is looking simply awesome. Weekly chart is yet to be improved because यहाँ पे वापस आप देख सकते हो कि थोड़ा सा candlestick cluster हमको परेशान करेगा. So I think we'll come to know maybe in next 1 week or a little bit more than that. Yes, and one more stock from my side which I had noted down is Axis Bank. In private banks, there is one more stock from my side, which is Axis Bank. Overall structure of the trend is nice. Only concern currently for me is this trend line. इस trend line के ऊपर अगर हम close कर देते हैं, then we should see some decent up move coming up. PSU banks. PSU banks, I can say they are looking much stronger than private banks. The way they have consolidated, the way they have stayed afloat, the way they have bounced from important supports is really impressive. And this time, I guess, if this up move continues, maybe, why I'm saying this, maybe because we do have a gap over here. All right. And I'm not a person, I'm not a trader who will always say that this is 101% which should happen. Generally, when traders talk with that sort of confidence, I think some or the other problems do occur. So there is some sort of gap which can act as a resistance. But probably if this up move is successful, ये up move शायद बहुत बड़ा भी हो सकता है. That is what you need to take into consideration. सिर्फ up move नहीं होगा, but काफी बड़ा भी हो सकता है. Probable, I'm not saying होगा, हो सकता है. Again, all of you know that I track this SBI in PSU banks. SBI is looking pretty nice. It's looking in an uptrend. I think it has just started an uptrend. But this time, Canada Bank somehow is looking pretty nice also. Yes, we do have some sort of resistance coming up over here. Some sort of resistance coming up over here. If this will be surpassed somewhere around 250, 253, and if continues to move higher, maybe we will have a very fast up move and a very big up move. That is what I can sense from this chart. That is what I can feel from this chart in Canada Bank. So you need to take that into consideration. Metals, I think I have shared a tweet about the same on my Twitter handle, that metals was the pack, I think, which was keeping the market alive when market was falling drastically. Metal was the pack which was able to keep little bit, not that much, but at least a little bit to keep the market afloat. And now what I can see is, first of all, in the daily chart, we do have a Fibonacci extension over here. And we can see that we had a hanging man. Then we have a red candle closing below the lows of this hanging man. Then we have a shooting star. So according to me, I think some sort of profit booking, some sort of consolidation is possible in metal pack. So if you're holding any stocks, especially in swing trades, you should be you should be keeping your stop losses very tight. exited my trade in Hindalco at 612, and if you see the type of selling which happened in this stock, it was brutal. It was really brutal. I exited at 615, and on the same day, I think it closed at 599 or something. So it was really brutal. Even the next day, it kept on coming down. And in the metal pack, one more thing which I can see is this Fibonacci extension. 127.20% Fibonacci extension is coming up in the weekly chart. So we have a confluence of resistance, not just in the daily chart, but we do have a confluence of resistance in the daily as well as the weekly chart. So this is the reason why I'm a little bit worried about the metal pack. And if you're holding any positional trades, I think you can continue to hold them with trailing stop losses, because positional trades do have a little bit deeper stop losses. So we can have some sort of room possibly for the stock to move around. And certainly this is not the place where any positional trader would have initiated its trade. I think all the positional trades would have come up somewhere over here. So by the time I think the prices have gone higher, I think the stop losses would have got trailed. So that is not a very big worry. Auto pack. Auto pack is a sector on which currently I would not like to speak much. The reason is, yes, we do have a very nice looking hammer over here in the monthly time frame chart. We do have a high wave candle. We do have a green candle over here. Then again, a small red candle, then again a green candle. Things are okay. It's not that it has completely underperformed. Yes, it has bounced back, but it has not bounced as much as other sectors have done. So I would like to wait patiently and do nothing as of now. And I'll just observe it. I'll just observe it. Yes, one stock is there, certainly, which is showing some sign of strength in comparison to other stocks, which is Bajaj Auto. But again, this is just for sharing. I will not comment on any of the stocks of the auto pack, because I'm certainly not a type of trader who would like and try to buy or sell a stock, possibly just one stock of that entire pack, which is only outperforming. मैं वैसा ट्रेडर नहीं हूँ. I would like the entire pack to move together. At least of the 6 important stocks, 3 से 4 अगर move कर रहे हैं, out of that I would like to pick 1 or 2 for myself. I'm that sort of trader. So until and unless that doesn't happen, even if the sectoral auto pack chart doesn't improve, I'm not going to do anything. I'll just wait patiently. Finance pack. Finance pack has been able to pull back nicely, especially in the last 3-4 days. The pullback has been really sharp, and the RSI has also surpassed its previous high. So things are looking pretty nice. And even in the weekly chart, we can see after a high wave candle, we have a big green candle. Again, we had a red candle, and then again, we have a big green candle. So things are looking okay, but only concern is that the price is very close to the trend line. Once I think we do close above this trend line resistance, and if we can continue to move higher, things will improve certainly. IT pack. Now, IT pack is one of the sectors which started improving much earlier than other packs. Weekly time frame, I still don't like of the IT pack. Somehow I don't like the monthly time frame I don't like about the IT sector, but weekly chart is looking pretty okay. There's no problem. Especially if you look at the last 3 weeks, forget about these 3 candles. These 3 candles are looking pretty awesome. If you see these 3 candles are very small in terms of size. So it means that market is lacking momentum, not entire market. I mean, the IT pack is lacking momentum. Trend is certainly up. And even if you see in the daily time frame chart, it is completely sideways. Now, if you look at the stocks, Tech Mahindra. So Tech Mahindra did try to start a very nice uptrend, and then it took a dip down. I think it certainly needs to go higher. Once I think it will see a second round of buying, then only the overall quality of the chart will improve. One another stock from my side is Wipro. Wipro, if you can see that it started a uptrend, it came down, and this is a support band, a small support band. I have already made a educational video on the same for a swing trade in Wipro. So if you can see, it has exactly bounced from the same level, and this candle is bigger in size of this particular candle. So overall, it's a good sign. But I think once we sustain above it in the hourly charts, above 611 with a big green candle, then we'll see a decent up move coming. Until and unless this is not surpassed, it makes no sense to, buy in this particular stock. Pharma pack. Pharma pack, things are looking okay. The pack is in an uptrend. We do have a negative divergence over here. We can see RSI has made a lower high and price has made a higher high. And if you look at the monthly time frame chart, monthly time frame is looking again okay. The trend is flat. Again, we have a flat trend going on in the weekly chart as well. Neither it is a downtrend, neither it is an uptrend. The trend is up, but it's losing momentum. So some sort of consolidation is possible in this particular pack. Sun Pharma is one stock which I like currently, but I think it needs to sustain above, in the hourly chart, it needs to sustain above 922 or 921 and form a very big green candle. Then we'll see a decent up move coming up in this particular stock. FMCG pack, I would not waste much time over here. I would just talk about one stock over here, and that is ITC. ITC is one stock which had been leading recently, but if you convert this particular stock into line chart, we can see a higher high, and in RSI we do have a lower high over here. So some sort of consolidation, some sort of profit booking, if it occurs, and if it comes down probably in the range of say 238 or maybe even 245, I would even fancy my chances somewhere over here. But again, you have to be very, very careful. If you try to pick this stock somewhere around 238 when it comes down and then it starts bouncing, to be safe. But if you try to do same thing over here, I think it will be slightly risky. But the thing is, a person has to keep his eyes open. The reason for that is this particular trend is very, very big in comparison to all these three trends which has happened recently since November of 2021. So generally when the trend is pretty large enough, that point of time 23.6% Fibonacci retracement is an important support. So अगर ये stock यहाँ पे नीचे आता है, if it consolidates, moves around, and then if it gives a breakout, maybe you can fancy your chances. But I'm talking about a swing trade, not a positional trade. Realty pack. Realty pack, things have started improving certainly. Monthly chart is looking okay. Weekly chart is looking very, very impressive. Not just impressive, the way I think prices are moving, and a trader at times just has an overall feel about the chart. Just by looking at the chart, you can feel that the strength of this chart is simply awesome. So that's the word I would like to use for this particular chart. It's looking simply awesome. And yes, we are very close to this particular trend line. That is the only discomfort at that point of time. I think once we close above this trend line, we'll see some really good upsides happening. Because क्या हुआ है, यहाँ से already upside आ चुकी है. अब यहाँ पे अगर कोई enter करता है, and if you are close to this trend line, then I think you're buying at say 474, 475, and there's a trend line resistance at 491. So you need to be a little bit careful in that. Consumption pack. Consumption pack has started improving, certainly, no doubts about that. The trend is currently flat in the weekly time frame of the consumption pack, but the daily time frame has started looking impressive. Yes, we are again not very far away from the trend line resistance, but there are a couple of stocks which I would like to share with you. First is McDowell. I think McDowell is looking really nice. Overall strength of the stock is also good because if you see when the entire market came down, I think McDowell has just consolidated and it has come down. Generally speaking, people like to buy stocks which are beaten down and they like to sell stocks which are in uptrend. ये मैंने tweet भी किया था अपने Twitter handle पे. So generally this is one type of stock which has not corrected that much. I should say that. And it has bounced from a pretty nice support level in the weekly chart. And in the daily chart also currently it is looking really nice. I think if this momentum continues, we can have really good upside in this particular stock. The second stock from my side will be Titan. Yes, currently it looks beaten down, but if you look overall, just don't look at these 3-4 candle के सर आज तो मार्केट ऊपर गया, आज टाइटन ने क्या किया, कुछ नहीं किया. Don't look at that. Look at the overall chart. Look at the quality of the chart. You will say, sir, अरे सर ये तो सब sideways है. But my friend, if you open the weekly chart and now if you open this particular chart, you will see some downside moves which have happened in Nifty, in Bank Nifty. But what about Titan? Can you see? Yes, it has been consolidating. It has not, in fact, it has been able to make higher highs and higher lows. This is the first low, this is the second low. So it's a very good quality chart. And if we have some sort of up move coming up, especially if it closes and sustains about say 2660 or 2670, if this thing happens, then we have a pretty good, decent upside possible in this particular stock. And I'm talking only with a viewpoint of a swing trade, certainly not a positional trade. Mid cap index is looking nice. The monthly time frame chart is looking okay. It's not looking that impressive. If it would have corrected much lower, possibly somewhere around say 24,000, and then it would have gone up, I think it would have looked really nice. But we need to respect what prices are giving to us rather than having our own ambitions in the market. Overall weekly chart is also looking nice. Support se ye घूम रहा hai. It's going up. And I think in this particular sector, we can see one thing which is evident, that prices are away from the trend line. In consumption sector, or you can say the reality pack, prices were little bit closer to the Bank Nifty, to the trend line. If you open financial sector, prices were extremely close to the trend line. But अगर आप mid cap index में देखोगे तो prices are pretty much away. So I think if this upside continues, तो थोड़ा सा upside momentum यहाँ तक continue होगा. अभी हम लोग करीब trade कर रहे हैं 30,080 के करीब. Maybe we could test somewhere around 30,950 and maybe even 31,200 or 300. All right. So this is my take on the market, and especially people who are watching this educational video on YouTube, do let me know your suggestions about the educational videos that I make in the comments below. Thank you and trade well.